When you were here 12 months ago, did you ever imagine to be back here so soon?
Realistically, I thought that would be a bit of a stretch. Mark and I had always said that our aim was to try and get in the playoffs because we knew we had a good squad and we knew we had a good manager, and so you thought, well, we should be there or thereabouts, but to actually go that extra step and win it is fantastic.
And it's such a proud moment to see all the fans turn out today and at the stadium on Sunday, wasn't it? And the whole community right behind the football club.
Yeah, it is brilliant. I mean, it's one of my sort of most abiding memories of last year. Was it almost made a sort of palpable difference to Birkenhead for weeks after we won. It was really odd. You could feel the mood in the community, and people were smiling at you, and people were, sort of talking about it in the streets. It was fantastic to see, and it's great to have a little bit of that back again. I think, the club had some great years in the past, but it had been through some difficult times, and it gives me such enormous pleasure when people come up to Mark and I and say, thanks for making me proud of my club again. And that's brilliant. That's what it's all about.
It's been a real team effort, this, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's and quite rightly, Mickey and the team get a lot of the plaudits, but actually there's a huge team behind them who do a massive amount of work, often for not massive amount of money, and they do huge hours. And whether that's from the guy in there who was nice to see him here today, who dresses up as Rover on a match day, to the nutritionists, to the people who write the programmes, to you guys who do the marketing, to the people who are doing the accounting. It's a big team behind it who are incredibly dedicated to doing their part in days like this. So it's nice to see everybody here being able to share a little bit of the success.
You've been on some journey, haven't you, in the 5 years you've been here?
Yeah, it's been a real roller coaster, I think to say. I think, we knew when we came that it wasn't going to be a smooth journey. But blimey, it's been more of a roller coaster, I think, than I could ever have thought. Obviously that relegation the first season we were here was a big blow. But equally, one of the days that sticks in my mind the most of all the time we've been here was that day at Plymouth when the relegation was finally confirmed, and the reception and the support that Mark and I got off the fans there, because we went over to the away supporter stand just to acknowledge the fact that I think there were 700 or 800 supporters that day who'd gone all the way down to Plymouth in the knowledge that it was almost certainly the day that we were going to be relegated, and we just felt we wanted to go and say thank you to them. And you could have understood if they were angry but you just got this enormous sense of support, and it was amazing in one way. It was fabulous to have it, but it also gave you a great sense of responsibility, because we have got to put this right, and the work started there, and so that's what's really satisfying today, that we're back in League One. We're playing the likes of Sunderland next year, Bolton again, reviving some of those great old rivalries. So it's brilliant. It's been an emotional roller coaster, but it's fantastic.
These are moments to cherish, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, and it was one thing. Mark's obviously got a lot more of a football background than I have, and I think the first time last year when we won the playoff final, he said, really savour this moment, because football's one of those things where there'll be as many, if not more, bad times as there are good. So, you've got to really celebrate and enjoy the good times. And that's why, it's great to see the players and the manager and everybody out celebrating with the fans, because, it's just a fantastic sense of togetherness. And I think that's one of the things that clubs like Tranmere can do for fans that you'd never get in the Premier League, that sense of closeness, and we're all in it together, and so we've won it together, we'll celebrate together.
And finally, we've had the celebrations today, but the hard work carries on tomorrow, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So we've got a strategy meeting planned for tomorrow, so straight down to the hard work. I mean, it's a bit of time off for the players. I think they're all off to Magaluf for a bit of a boys' holiday, which I think they probably need to confiscate their phones before they go. But for the management team, so we're straight down to planning the next season.